Coming up on this week's episode of Theme Park Worldwide, the show, as it was D23 last weekend, I'm going to be talking about all the exciting new developments to come at the Disney parks over the next few years. So much has been announced, more than we were expecting, and I can't wait to talk about that and share my thoughts. I'm Shawn Sanbrooke, this is Theme Park Worldwide, the show, and that means it's time to cue those titles. Hello and welcome to this week's slightly delayed episode of Theme Park Worldwide, the show. As I'm sure you're all aware, the shows are normally uploaded on a Wednesday. But just for a one-off this week, it was uploaded today, as in Friday. Don't worry, next week it'll return to normal and we'll still be back on Wednesdays. We've had loads going on the channel this week. We've had all our Asia vlogs go online, so make sure you check out day 1 and day 2 from both Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. Unfortunately, that is it for all of our Asia vlogs. All 18 are now online, so make sure you go back and check them out. There's some really exciting and brilliant content, and we had such a good laugh, me and Alex, on that trip. Thank you to each and every one of you for watching the vlogs. I know quite a lot of people commented on the last one and said that they've watched them all. That's crazy. I don't know how you managed to sit through them all, but I'm glad you enjoyed watching, and thank you for all of your support with our Asia trip. It was incredible, and I look forward to sharing details on our next mega trip, which is going to be happening in September very soon. I've got the details of what parts are visiting on what days, and I'll mention that in a couple of weeks' time. Of course, always stay tuned for plans for next year's mega trips. A lot of people have suggested parks. I have taken that into consideration, and as we get towards the back end of the year, we'll talk about what we're going to be doing next year on Theme Park Worldwide. Very, very exciting stuff ahead for next year, so make sure you stay tuned. Of course, if you haven't yet seen the vlogs, go back and watch them, but there is so much exciting content still to come this summer. We've got brand new vlogs coming from a lot of the UK parks. Of course, more Secret Weapon 8 updates from Alton Towers, Icon updates from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Of course, we've got our event coming up in a couple of weeks' time at Chessington World of Adventures. That's going to be held on August the 12th, which is a Saturday, so it'll be great to see many of you there. Make sure you check out the details on our Facebook page if you haven't already done so. Along with that, brand new vlogs from Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, Paulton's Park, and many more to come all throughout the next week here on our channel, so stay tuned for those. Anyway, lots has been happening over at Disney. It really has been an exciting week for announcements from D23, so we're going to talk all about that in News Off the Rails. Now, this week's News Off the Rails, it's all about D23, the big Disney expo, which is held just outside of Disneyland in California each year. Now, you have news from the theme parks, news from the cruise lines, the movie division, of course, and all of that, but I'm mainly going to focus on some of the big news from the parks. Now, this is the most important news in my eyes that we've got from D23. I love it each year, seeing what they announce for the theme parks, and a lot of this was already rumoured, but we're not really confirmed. Now, all this has been confirmed, and it's very exciting to see what's going to happen at the Disney parks over the next few years. This isn't all the news that's been announced, but these are the main ones that I'm excited for, and I thought I'd discuss here in the show. So firstly, Star Wars Land. Now, Star Wars Land is opening at both Disneyland in California and at Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World in 2019. However, they've now confirmed that the area is actually going to be called Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So it's good to see a new name. I like that. I think it'll fit in quite well at both the resorts, and it is actually going to open first in California, which is quite interesting, and it'll open later in 2019 at Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World. It's basically the lands are set in a remote trading port on the edge of wild space, a name that represents all the unknown adventure happening within. That's the meaning behind Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, so I look forward to seeing that one. Again, I'm not really a massive fan of Star Wars now it's coming to Disney. However, I understand that they've got to keep moving forward with the parks and invest in new things, and there's a lot of big fans out there of Star Wars, so it'd be interesting to see how that one goes. This is an interesting one. Again, it's been rumoured for a while that the Great Movie Ride in Hollywood Studios, yet again, was set to be either rethemed or removed. We now got confirmation that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway will be a new attraction that is actually going to replace that of the Great Movie Ride. Now, I look forward to seeing this. It looks to me like it's just going to be the same transit system with new theming and new set pieces. But basically, the most famous mouse of all is finally going to get a ride. Mickey Mouse has never had a ride. He's got meet and greets, of course, in all the the parks and various little things like that, but he hasn't actually got a big staple attraction. So this will be really interesting to see what it's going to be. The sort of thing behind this is step through the movie screen and find themselves inside a Mickey Mouse cartoon short in an exciting new attraction at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So we don't know loads of details about that. They have confirmed that it's not going to be a 3D attraction, you're not going to have to wear glasses and things, but there is going to be some form of new concept in there, which is going to be kind of 3D but without having to wear the glasses. So I look forward to seeing that, what Disney have developed, and they shared some images and video footage of like what they've been testing and stuff for this, and it does look great, so I can't wait to know more about this. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. In terms of the Great Movie Ride, it is going to be closing in a couple of months' time, later this year at Hollywood Studios. So if you want to get out there and ride it, then get out there as soon as you can to see that one. It's a great ride. It's a shame to be losing it from the park, but I've done it quite a few times, and in my opinion it's not quite the same now. It's got a sponsorship behind it, Turner's Classic Movies, and I just think that's a bit of a shame. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Of course, Mickey's finally getting his own ride. I look forward to seeing that one. Over at Epcot, 2 new attractions planned for the next few years. A brand new attraction based on Ratatouille for the French themed pavilion in World Showcase. Going to be very similar to Ratatouille that opened at Disneyland Paris in 2014. I do really enjoy that. It's a trackless dark ride, big high throughput ride that will work great in Epcot. So again, it was rumoured but not confirmed. We've now got that confirmation, which I look forward to seeing with that one. There's also going to be another brand new e-ticket attraction themed to Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's actually going to replace Universe of Energy. So again, not really a great loss in my opinion. It's like a 45-minute long ride. Check out the vlogs if you've not seen it before. But yeah, I don't think that's a great loss really. For me, it's not anyway. I understand some people might find it like a nostalgia attraction if they've been going for years and things, and it's always sad for those people. And I get the same about stuff at Alton Towers and my local parks when it closes. But for me personally, I think it'll be an improvement seeing Guardians in there. I think that also means that Guardians of the Galaxy is safe in Hollywood Studios. Hopefully anyway, that they're not going to replace Tower of Terror. Now we've got that. So yeah, 2 new attractions coming to Epcot for the next few years. The most exciting announcement of all, well, the last 2, of course, is a brand new attraction for the Magic Kingdom, a brand new roller coaster. Tron Light Cycle Power Run is a roller coaster. It's a Vekoma booster bike, basically, Velocity at Flamingo Land. Or, if you watch our vlogs from Shanghai, they have already got the Tron roller coaster. And oh my word, it is a brilliant ride, and anybody who loves Tron will absolutely love it. All the lighting on it, and I've never actually seen Tron, but I watched it just after coming back from the trip a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, it's a really good film, and the ride is perfect. The fact you're sitting on the light cycle, going through this big indoor section with all lighting all around, brilliant audio, this will work amazing in the Magic Kingdom. So I'm really pleased with that news. It's not going to replace anything either. There was rumours that it was going to replace Tomorrowland Speedway. It's not going to, as far as we're aware. It's going to sit behind that in a new area next to Space Mountain. So everything else should be untouched. The People Mover and all that should be staying. And this be an extra attraction. When's all this going to be ready? So Walt Disney World, the Magic Kingdom, is going to be celebrating 50 years in 2021. So that's when this is going to be ready for, along with, we assume, all the other developments as well. So very, very exciting stuff from Walt Disney World. One final thing, and this isn't so much a new ride in the parks, but it is a new ride for the resort, and that's a brand new transportation system, again, that was rumoured. It's basically going to be the Skyliner, the Disney Skyliner, which is a cable car system, which is going to connect quite a few different areas across the resort. So Disney's Art of Animation, Pop Century Resort and Caribbean Beach, along with other locations such as Disney's Hollywood Studios and the International Gateway at Epcot. It's going to be a massive cable car system that is going to be really good to get on. I mean, it's going to be themed to beloved Disney characters and attractions, and I can't wait to see this. The concept art looks great for it. We don't know when this is going to open, but we assume this will be in the next couple of years we start to see things with this. And Walt Disney World's got a lot of great transport already, such as the ferry boats, the motor coaches all the way around, or as we call them in the UK, buses. But yeah, you've got the motor coaches, and of course you've got the monorail as well, the beloved monorail at Walt Disney World. Everybody loves the monorail. But yeah, this will be another beloved like Disney attraction, I'm sure. I mean, it'll go down great, and for people like myself who love these transit systems and all that, I'm really excited for this. This and Tron are my 2 big things to look forward to at Walt Disney World. But let's just say it's great to see they're going in there and really sort of competing against Universal now. Universal, we think we're going to get some announcements soon as well, but it's really good to see that Disney are really up in the game, and some very exciting announcements from D23. Make sure you stay tuned with our weekly episodes of Theme Park Worldwide, the show, for all the latest theme park news, and of course we'll keep you up to date on the construction and when we know more about all these announcements from D23.
You're like a roller coaster, move and shake me.
Now, I did say last week that I was going to make it slightly easier for this week's episode, so I did do it, and a lot of you got it right. About 99% of you got this one right. It was, of course, a roller coaster at Walt Disney World. It was in Animal Kingdom and Expedition Everest. A brilliant ride, and when that first opened, it actually had the fastest track switches of any roller coaster in the world. It's also, full of the facts today, the largest fake mountain to have ever been built in the world. There you go. But yeah, what a brilliant ride it is, all the theming, and the fact that inside it's actually got a really intense backwards helix that POVs just don't do it justice. So get yourself out there if you can do, if you haven't already, to go and ride Everest over at Animal Kingdom. Anyway, it's time for this week's Name That Coaster. And remember, it's just for fun. And stop the clip. There we go. Quite a long one this week. So remember, just for fun, all you need to do is comment down below on this video. I might give you a few clues down there as well in the comments, so make sure you take a look at that. It is now time for question time.
Questions, questions, questions everywhere.
Now, if you'd like your question to appear in next week's episode of the show, all you need to do is send it in via private message over on our Facebook page. So keep your questions coming in, Charlotte will get back to you with it, and of course we'll put it in next week's episode of the show. So the first questions come from Nick. Hello Nick, who was asked, what is my impression of Space Invader that was an old attraction at Blackpool Pleasure Beach? Now, I went on Space Invader quite a few times. I did really enjoy it, along with the Black Hole at Alton Towers. I mean, I do really enjoy indoor roller coasters, and I've always had a soft spot for Space Mountain, especially Space Mountain Mission 2 in Disneyland Paris. So I look forward to seeing Hyperspace Mountain and seeing if that's good. I don't think I'm going to enjoy it quite as much, that one, but we'll soon find out. Of course, I've always enjoyed Eurosat, Euromir at Europa Park, and in general, those dark coasters, I really do enjoy them. So there you go, I really enjoyed it. What a great ride. I do miss it at Blackpool, but it's good to see that they've kept a lot of the other classics at that park, such as the wooden coasters and, of course, my beloved Valhalla. So thanks for your question, Nick. Leanna's asked, do I have any travel or general tips for first timers to Disneyland Paris? Just make sure you have enough time to do it. I mean, the queues in Paris do get really busy, and a lot of people think of Florida for having the big queues. I actually think sometimes Paris gets busier. Make sure you have at least a day in Walt Disney Studios and ideally 2 days for Disneyland Park, along with having time to explore Disney Village and all the other areas that make up such a beautiful resort. I've always enjoyed the resort in Paris, so yeah, make sure you just get time to see it all. Also, make the most of your extra magic hours when the park opens earlier in the morning, and of course, book your tickets online as well to save actually having to queue, or stay on site where you get your park admission normally included. Have a good trip, Leah. I hope you enjoy it. Carl has got a question, and he's asked, if I can improve Pleasurewood Hills, what would I improve? Well, I'd love to put in a new family coaster. I actually think that a small GCI roller coaster, similar to Fun Spot Orlando's White Lightning or Mind Blower that they've got over there at Fun Spot in Kissimmee, something like that I think will work really well here in the UK, and especially at a park like either Pleasurewood Hills, Drayton Manor, Flamingo Land, the list goes on. But I'd love one of these little parks to just go out there and go for it and put in one of these little wooden coasters. So thanks, Carl, for your question. Final one then this week is coming from Luke. Hi Luke, and you have asked, what is the roughest coaster I've ever been on? Now, I've done quite a few rough coasters, but there's some out there that I do enjoy. This is one I don't enjoy though, and it is of course Al Condor at Wallaby Holland. I've mentioned it quite a lot, but make sure you go back and watch the vlog from June last year and our little road trip that we did, me, Martin and Joe. What a great trip that was, a brilliant series of vlogs. But yeah, if you watch that, you'll know exactly how much pain I was in because I was filming on it. But yeah, it was awful. It really was a bad coaster, that one. And just the fact it's a Vekoma SLC, but the restraints felt worse, and I was whacking my head on the side and whacking my thighs. It's like, it was not nice at all. But there you go, thanks for your question. As I mentioned at the start, just make sure you keep your questions coming in, and they might be shown in next week's episode. Now, if you watched last week's episode of the show or follow us on our social media channels, you'll know that we've just been out to Germany and Europa Park. Me and Lee went over there for 5 days. We had a brilliant time. We actually spent 4 days in Europa Park and then had a bonus trip to Holiday Park with the wonderful Joe Beasley and Ruby as well. We had a brilliant time out there, and I also managed to pick up a bit of new merchandise. So I got this first from Holiday Park. It was the first time going there. The park opened back in 1971, and it's now owned by Plopsa that own quite a few parks out there throughout Europe. But yes, we went there, brilliant. Expedition G-Force was awesome, and I share my full review in the vlog that will be online next week, so stay tuned for that one. But yeah, here we go, got a Holiday Park mug, a little collection, along with some maps and a few other bits there from the park. And I also got this, a Skyscream mug. Skyscream was great as well. That's a Premier launch coaster similar to Full Throttle. However, it was a bit of a standard layout, this one, but I did really enjoy it. And the queue line was awesome, all horror theming and smoke effects and stuff in there. It was very good. Like I say, check out the vlogs. I filmed all of that, including on-ride footage. Finally, the brand new ride at Europa Park, Voletarium, which is a flying theatre. It was enjoyable, the queue line was good and everything, but the actual ride itself, as you'll see from the vlog, I was a bit disappointed. I thought Europa might have pulled something a bit more special out of the bag and not just copied Soaring, really. But yeah, it was very nice to see and do, but it's definitely not one of my favourite rides at the park. But I did get the mug. These were only like €5, and with Joe being staff there for the year, that's why he's obviously not been on the channel that much, because he's living out in Germany at the moment. But yeah, I managed to get this with staff discount as well, which is good. I can't believe they get staff discount. 35% they get off merchandise at Europa Park when you work there. But yeah, I got a Voletarium mug. Like I say, I won't go into it today, but make sure you watch the vlog and you'll see my full thoughts, including on-ride footage of the brand new attraction at Europa Park. It's now time for the final section of this week's episode of the show. It is, of course, TPW Showcase. So before we wrap up the show with TPW Showcase, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that watches our weekly episodes and just generally watches the videos here on the channel. I really feel like we're at an amazing point with Theme Park Worldwide at the moment and nearly about to reach 75,000 subscribers. That is a hell of a lot of people. So thank you to everyone that tunes into our shows, our Planet Coaster series, and of course the main thing on our channel, which is our vlogs from the theme parks. Talking of vlogs, we've had so many over the past couple of weeks. In fact, this month I've uploaded more brand new vlogs than I have done in the 6-year history of the channel, and there's still loads to come, loads of UK park vlogs to come, and of course the vlogs from Europa Park and Holiday Park, so stay tuned for those, all to come within the next couple of weeks. Anyway, lots to get through then this week in TPW Showcase, and firstly we've got Ash, who had a photo here with me, so thanks for sending that one in, Ash. Lucas and Harry here had a photo there with Harry as well, so thanks for sending that one in. Moving on then, we've got Ruth, who had a photo here with me, followed by Troy as well. So thank you very much for sending in your photos. It was great to meet you. James had a photo here with me as well, and so did Gareth. It was also great to see you two whilst you're out there at the theme parks. Ryan next up then with a Dragon Falls on-ride photo. We then got Amy with the Goliath on-ride photo. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Moving on then, we've got Hayley on Buzz Lightyear Laser Blast. Really do enjoy that, and look out for the secret hidden targets around on the ride. Ben has got a photo from On Nickelodeon Streak. Moving on then, we've got Matthias on Dalton Terror. Really good drop tower that, I did enjoy it, quite forceful. So thank you very much for sending that in. Moving on, we've got James with a Minion at Universal Studios in Hollywood. I really do enjoy Universal in Hollywood. It's a great park. The location of it, hands down, better than Florida. The fact you go up all the escalators and a bit like Leesburg, really. Again, check out the vlog from there that we did a couple of years ago, September 2015, Universal Studios Hollywood. What a trip! And Harry Potter wasn't open then, but we did see all the construction and Hogwarts on the hill and everything. So make sure you check that one out. Thanks for sending that in, James. Moving on, we've got Ashley who had a photo here with me. Great to see you. Kaya here as well has had a photo with me. It was great to meet you. And then got Reese with a rock and roller coaster on ride photo. Thanks for sending that one in. Jonathan has got a photo from a selection of different theme parks. Moving on from Jonathan, we've got Hannah on the Ultimate. So thanks for sending in that photo from Lightwater Valley. Just a few to go then. Next up then, we've got Karen with an engagement photo on a Runaway Mine Train. Congratulations. I hope you had a fantastic day at Alton Towers. I'm sure you did, getting engaged. Thanks for sending that one in. Next up then, we've got Tino, who sent this one in from Apocalypse at Drayton Manor. That is a really good photo there. He's really, I can't believe that he's gone on there. Little Peter has gone Apocalypse. So thanks for sending in your photo. Moving on, we've got Aaron with a Flamingo Land map. Moving on from that, we've got Erin and Shayna with a merchandise collection, so thanks for sending that in to us here at the show. Then we've got Bradley also with a merchandise collection, so thank you for sending that one in to me. And then we've got John with a Disneyland Paris mug selection. Next up then, we've got all of our birthdays, quite a few this week. A big happy birthday to Ash, to Shawn, loving the name, Mitchell, and also to Matthew as well. Can't get my words out. I've got a bit of a croaky voice at the moment. You'll see that in Europa vlogs, and I was screaming that much on the rides. We had such a good time out there. We really did. It was brilliant. What an awesome trip. So make sure you check out those vlogs. They will all be online within the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for those. That's it for this week's episode of the show. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to send things in for next week, keep them coming in usual ways on Instagram via message and also Facebook. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Shawn Sanbrooke. This was Theme Park Worldwide, the show, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later, guys. Have a good week.